The second question. Second question for all the candidates here. We'll go by district, we'll reverse the order. So, Denny will be first. How have you contributed to the betterment of your neighborhood, community, and the city of Dunwoody in the past 5 years?
I think the thing I've done is that, first of all, I was the co-chairman of Dunwoody Yes that pushed the cityhood. And the overall contributions that I have done, I spoke about a little bit in my introduction. When we first became a city, I was working on the Dunwoody Yes, so I came to the first meeting, and we had a single supplier who supplied all the other services for the other areas around here. Came out with CH2M Hill with their initial estimate, and it was $2 million over what we could afford. And I said, well, how did this come about? So then they came around and they said, we'll work on that. So they came back in about a week and it was $600,000 over, and the services were down to here, 2 rolls of toilet paper per year and those kind of things. But I said, we can't afford this. I didn't come up with the original idea, but I went out to a couple of friends of mine, one of them's a Marine, by the way, and the other one's down in Weston, Florida, and he came up with a plan that we used, and that is the multiple contract plan for services here. And we bid that thing out with a lot of help from outsiders, including Don Boykin down here, and we came out with a $3.4 million savings the first year, and the services were at least 400% higher. That's one of the things I've done. The other thing I've done is I've listened to the citizens wherever you are, and I come over and I analyze what you're telling me. If I believe what it is, I'll side with you. All right. If I don't, I'll tell you why not.
Thank you. The last 5 years in Dunwoody, I probably have not done near what the other people say they have. Quite honestly, I attended all the meetings and planning meetings for the city of Dunwoody. And quite honestly, after that was over and the in-crowd got in, I haven't received any invites to do anything. And I have been busy, though, with the Wounded Warriors. I've been busy with helping the Vietnam veterans that are disabled. I've been a Stevens minister. But the neighborhood itself, I have served and done well, and that's it. The only thing I can really say was outstanding is I did sleep at a Holiday Inn Express the other night. Thank you.
The question again, how have you contributed to the betterment of your neighborhood, community, and the city of Dunwoody in the past 5 years? Let's go, Jim, you'll be first on this.
Okay. Well, like many Dunwoody residents, I've been engaged in the business of business and leading my life. With that said, our existing council, who have given enormously of their time, has not really led the city in a way that many find acceptable. A great example of this gets to Project Renaissance again, where there are some of the belief that we have committed to building a bridge across the wetlands from Brook Run to the 19-acre plot. That's simply not the case. We are not firmly committed. It is not a requirement, and it would have been silly to do so since we don't know what that will cost. We need people on the council who understand business and won't get us into poorly thought out deals. And that's it.
Could you repeat the question?
Yeah. The question is, how have you contributed to the betterment of your neighborhood, community, and the city of Dunwoody in the past 5 years?
That's what I thought it was. In 2009, I got involved with the Dunwoody Soapbox Derby. We actually got the Soapbox Derby flat off the ground. It was absolutely fantastic, and it's been going on every year in Dunwoody Baptist Church at the parking lot. I'm also the co-founder of the Dunwoody Chili Cook-Off, which is a very fun event that took place during the Dunwoody Music Festival. Not to mention, I was also an integral part of the Dunwoody Music Festival and the Fall Festival. Recently, I've been involved getting a dunk tank and raising money for the Dunwoody Preservation Trust, and we've had a lot of fun getting the council members to sit in the seat and get wet, and that's kind of great too. My most recent accomplishment is focusing on schools. I believe schools is the number one important thing taking place in our community right now as we speak. And I'm working hard to try to get an independent school system along with Tom Taylor's bill, House Bill 486. Thank you.
Still answer, even though I haven't lived here 5 years yet, right?
As long as you've lived here.
That I have. As it's been pointed out several times, you know, my wife and I are relatively new to this community, but community service or community participation has been something that I have been involved with my entire life. From the community I grew up in, through my participation through the Boy Scouts and as an Eagle Scout leading community service projects. Community there's no greater thing than a great community that is tight-knit and where everyone pitches in together, and we have such wonderful blessings as we do in Dunwoody. And I guess the big thing that I can point out right now is, you know, I want to help the community get better, so I threw my name in to run for city council to try to get a dialogue going and to try to address some of our problems and to give a fresh perspective to some of these issues that we're facing here in Dunwoody. So that's where I'm at right now.
All right, thank you. Let's move to District 3 of Dunwoody.
Yeah. Over the last 5 years, I've done a lot for the city of Dunwoody. Let's start off 5 years ago. I was on the Comprehensive Land Use Plan Steering Committee, which put the Comprehensive Land Use Plan in place for the city of Dunwoody. I've been on the city of Dunwoody Alcohol License Review Board. Now that's a fun one. I've served on the board of the Fontainebleau Swim and Tennis Club. I've been on the board of the Dunwoody Homeowners Association, and my firm has been a member of the Chamber of Commerce. That was before I was elected city council, but within the last 5 years. I've been a sitting city council member for the last 3 years. As part of that, I served on the budget committee. I served on the vendor selection committee, which selected our vendors, which we were able to save the city over $3 million on. I could probably go on, but those are the major ones that I've been involved in. I've been very busy.
You know, when I contemplated running for city council, I knew this was going to be a question that came up, and I knew that I'm very light in this area. I'm a volunteer on the board of directors of a nonprofit, which is not located in Dunwoody. But I've been focused on running several businesses for most of my life. As a business owner, I spend a lot of time doing that. Any of you who own businesses know it can be a 100-hour-a-week job, or on and on. But what I really had to think was, I started listening to people asking me about what I could do to help the city, and I realized that regardless of whether you think volunteering for 5 or 10 years, helping Dunwoody is a very important thing. I've been out talking to citizens, and I feel like I can really represent them. The important thing, I think, is really to listen to people, and that's what's frustrating to a lot of people in District 3 that I'm talking to, is people are not being listened to. And I'm a very good listener, I'm a problem solver, and as I said in my opening statements, I love this city. I have no desire to move. I plan on living here as long as I'm alive, and I want to do my part to help the city. And I've certainly been spending a lot of time talking to a lot of you, and more importantly, listening to a lot of you. And I hope that means a lot